What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Russell, and I have a 1v1 between none other than OneCrunCher, the Protoss player, in the right-hand corner, and in the left-hand corner, the blue Zerg player, LiquidRet. Both players very well-known players. Cruncher, one of the better Protoss players, and then Ret, also one of the better Zerg players known. Ret is more of a macro-style based play. He uses, from what I've been able to see and read, he uses he kind of cuts down the defenses a little bit in the early game, and if he survives that, he is a very scary macro playing Zerg. And we see Cruncher going for the pylon at the bottom of his ramp, so this kind of indicates exactly the kind of build Cruncher will be going for, because if you do put that pylon there, you will more than likely be seeing a forge being put down in this area. So Cruncher looking like he's going for an extremely fast expand here if he does put that forge down. And Cruncher sending out his probe to scout, and I will bring this up just so that we can see. And we are seeing Ret going for 3 drones instead of getting a 13 hatch or a 14 hatch, but we might see the 14 hatch from him here in a second here because he did just hit 14 supply. And we are seeing the Overlord scouting, seeing that Cruncher is already in his base, scouting also, and we are not seeing anything being put down from Cruncher other than more probes, so he still has this one pylon here, and he is scouting just to make sure that there is no spawning pool, but the spawning pool is now going down at the 14-15 mark, and Cruncher kind of just sitting here, just making sure that he will be able to delay this hatchery once a Rat does decide to put it down. And what are we seeing this probe do? We are seeing, like I said, a fast expand from Cruncher, and we will more than likely see a forge the moment he does have 150 minerals to put down a forge, because this is becoming a standard build for quite a few Protoss players who want to get ahead in the economy game against the Zerg player, because if the Zerg player does not go and attack you, Cruncher not able to deny Ret this expansion for too long, and we are seeing the spawning pool just now finishing, so are we going to see some Zerglings coming out onto the field instantly? We are seeing 2 Zerglings coming out into play, and we are going to see this forge finish before those Zerglings do hatch, and we are going to see possibly one cannon go down before the Zerglings do come and attack, but we are seeing that Ret will soon see where Cruncher is located, because he has not scouted for at all other than that one, other than those 2 areas so far, and he is actually converging on both areas at the same time. So seeing Ret possibly knowing exactly where Cruncher is, and yes, this photon cannon will finish before any of these Zerglings do decide to come over here, and will they be able to kill this probe? And no, they deter from the probe, and the probe is like, whew, thinking his lucky ire or whatever, just thinking ire that he is alive and this probe is gonna get out. No, the probe is okay for now, but he is getting hit once, and almost taking the shields, and yes, the probe is going to win. Well, live, not win. You know what, yeah, I'm going to say that probe won. That probe won a Zerg battle. He did win. And we are seeing the cannon in place for Cruncher, so that no... sorry, my eye itches for some odd reason. Okay. Seeing the cannon in place, 2 cannons now on the field for Cruncher, so no Zerglings are going to be able to really get through here. They'll be able to, if they do have speed, a few might be able to stream up, but it's highly unlikely that they will be able to. And we are seeing one Zealot and another Zealot on the field. We are seeing finally Cruncher getting his gas at the 32 supply, 31 supply, and the Zealot kind of moving around, scouting, seeing what's going on, if there is anything going on. And no, he's just moving him around, and seeing more chrono boost on the Zealots, more chrono boost on the Nexus to get those probes out, to get the mineral production up higher. And we are finally seeing the Cybernetics core going down for Cruncher, and Ret kind of sitting here chilling in the smoke. So we will see if Cruncher does check that spot to see if this Overlord is here. We are seeing we are seeing Zerglings coming in here, and if they will get this round, they will be able to take out all of these Zealots, and yes, they do get this round, and one Zealot going down. Oh, beautiful micro on those Zerglings. That Zergling just going down, but losing all of those Zealots, so taking out a few Zealots, but losing... taking out a few Zerglings, but losing 2 of his Zealots, which are important in the beginning of the game if Red does have quite a few Zerglings to come in and maybe take out this, like this pylon here to negate this cannon. And we are finally seeing Warp Gate research being researched, and Rhett kind of just moving in here, seeing as to what's going on, seeing if there's anything being put down over here. We are seeing more Zerglings on the field, 6 more on the way, and we are seeing, ooh, Ventral Sacs. So looks like Rhett is going to be doing some Zerg drops, because that's kind of the only reason to get Ventral Sacs, and we are seeing a Baneling nest, so we are going to see some Baneling drops here from Rhett. So some interesting style of play here. A little bit different than what you would usually see. Well, from what I've usually seen. I don't know if you guys always see Baneling drops from a high league player. And we are seeing, yep, and they do have Overlord speed. And there are quite a few Zerglings on the field. Now 33 with these 4 Overlords. And I wonder how many Banelings he will morph in here. And we will see here shortly. And sorry, I am clicking my pen and it is probably annoying. And there is now 45 Zerglings on the field. There was 45. Now there is 37, 35, and 14 Banelings on the way. Now there's back up to 39, 41. I'm just counting, and we see 3 Zealots, 1 Sentry, and 1 Stalker. These Zealots are just going to go into puffs of smoke against that many Banelings, but we are seeing them being loaded up, and Rhett taking advantage of the fact that there is almost nothing in this base, and this pylon is going to spot this, but it's not going to be quick enough. He's not going to be able to get all of his units up there because it is kind of choke point right here, and Rhett, oh no, Cruncher, warping in 3 Stalkers here, having 2 of his Zealots in there, but they are not going to last with those Banelings drop, and losing every single Zealot, losing almost every single, is he going to lose all of these probes? No, he's pulling the probes off the line, and these Stalkers are kind of trying to kite the, nope, the Stalkers are getting surrounded, blowing up from these Banelings, and yep, losing all of those Stalkers, and just more Zerglings just being streamed down here, and he's just reloading everything up, killing all of these. Oh my gosh, so much Zergling deaths. So these Zealots are going to be able to live through here and kill all of these Zerglings, so kind of clean it up a little bit, but he is dropping more Zerglings in the base. He's going to take out this pylon. This pylon is not going to live unless these Zealots do come in, but no, their Zealots do not have enough force field or enough HP to deal with this, and these Zerglings getting this round on the Zealots, but there's going to be 2 Stalkers on the way and 3 more Zealots, so these Zealots are going to be able to live safely, but he is morphing in more Banelings, and these Banelings need to back up away from the high ground, and one going poof. And he is rushing back in again with these Overlords. Going to be doing more Baneling drops, more Zergling harass. And Cruncher trying to use these Chrono Boosts, trying to get out more units as quickly as possible. Warping in 2 more Stalkers and 2 more Zealots, so he is going to be able to clean this up. Oh, perfect Banelings there from Rhett, taking out every single Zealot, other than that one that was hacking away. And there we go, seeing more Zealots being taken out. And Cruncher not knowing not really able to deal with this amount of harass from all of these Zerglings because more are just streaming down. There's 35 on the field at the moment. And we are seeing Rhett taking his second expansion. And this pylon will be going down. And he is morphing in 5, 6 sentries, using those force fields to trap those Zerglings so that the Stalkers can basically focus on them, and so that the Zerglings aren't really able to do anything, and trying to focus down these Overlords. Is one Overlord going to get killed? No, the Overlord lives, and the Overlord lives with 8 HP and 1 Zergling in there, but there are more Zerglings on the way, and back at home we see a Spire already down. I missed the Spire, and what do we see here? We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gateways and 7 gateways and a robo facility. Are we going to see the robo bay go down? That is a good question. We are seeing 2 evo chambers up for quick upgrades, and the Spire is researching Zerg attack units +1, and this observer seeing everything that is going on. So he does know that the Spire is there, and he does know this expansion is here, and he did go over this, so he does know that this expansion is here also. So will we see Cruncher going for a 3rd expansion just because he knows that Rhett is starting to macro up? And we do see Cruncher having a decent sized army, not big enough to deal with the amount of Zerglings and Banelings that Rhett was throwing his way. But it is, yep, there is the robotic space, so we will be seeing some Colossus finally being get brought onto the field with 6 sentries, all able to do a force field, so 6 more force fields being able to use by Cruncher. And we are seeing Cruncher knowing exactly what is going on here, seeing every single unit that is being produced at this expansion here. And the research on this Spire is almost done. and he is streaming more Zerglings down here to, I want to say, possibly stop this expansion if it does happen. And will he move in with this? If he does, Cruncher's army is is in position, and yes, he is going to move in here. He's going to force the cancel, and yes, he does force the cancel, and he does back out, forcing that cancel, which is going to be beneficial to him in the long run because he is able to macro up a little bit more. And Cruncher throwing down that Nexus yet again is later than what he wanted, but he is going to get that Nexus eventually. And we are seeing units on the field. We are finally seeing an Overseer being morphed in to deal with this, even though he just has a Queen to deal with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one more, 7 shots from a Queen to kill that Overseer. And we are seeing these Zergs trying to get in here, but with this Colossus in here now, it is going to be very hard for Zerglings to do any amount of damage to Cruncher. But we are seeing another drop from Cruncher in the back. I'm sorry, another drop from Ret in the back. I'm sorry, I keep getting their names mixed up. I don't know why. But will he go for the drop? I don't think Cruncher saw him. So no, he is not going for the drop. He has 4 Banelings in there, but he will be dropping. Will he be dropping in the mineral line? It looks like he might drop straight into the mineral line, but there is this cannon here to deter just in case. But I don't believe that cannon will be enough to deter or to kill all of these overlords. We are seeing a second Colossus being come out onto the field, but we are seeing 5 Corruptors. 5 Corruptors are going to be more than enough to deal with these 2 Colossus and this size army, because we do see Ret having a sizable Ling force with, if we go to the units tab, we have 53 Lings and 10 Banelings, 3 Corruptors, soon to be 5, and an Overseer. But we are not seeing any Roaches or any other Hydras or anything like that at the point in time. And yes, Ret did drop all those Banelings down there, and Cruncher was able to save most of his probes. I don't think he lost any probes there. I did not mean to disable the music. I meant to go here, units lost, units killed, it's Control R, okay. If we go to unit killed count, I'm not even, yep, workers killed 17. He has killed 17 workers, and absolutely no workers or drones lost for Ret at this point in time. And you know what? Had to get the name up there, but we are seeing Cruncher supply blocking himself. As our Protoss now, what we want to be doing is, you don't want to be supply blocking yourself, and he is finally getting that thermal lance upgrade, because if he was not supply blocked, he would be able to morph in more than 1 Stalker at a time, because he will need more than 2 Stalkers to deal with the army that the Zerg player does have, and the Zergling just chilling here, kind of stopping anything that's going on, and Ret just having complete map control, just decimating Cruncher on map control. And we are seeing a ton of Banelings being morphed in. We have more than enough Corruptors on the field, and in case this push does not go well, the Spire is now turning into a Greater Spire, so we will see some Broodlords soon actually onto the field, because the Greater Spire is finished. And let's go back to the production tab. We are seeing Blink being going to be utilized in this game from the Cruncher, so we are going to see some Blink Stalkers. We have quite a few sentries. I think only like 1 Zealot. 2 Zealots now, okay. 2 Zealots, 16, 17, 18, 19 Stalkers, and 2 Colossi. I don't know if this will be enough to deal with exactly what Ret has, because he has all of his Banelings loaded up in these Overlords, and so it's just Lings and Corruptors that Cruncher knows that is on the field, because he does not know that these Banelings are loaded up in here. And this pylon will be cancelled. No, this pylon will not be cancelled, but these forces are going to meet, and he is throwing those down those force fields to stop these Zerglings from streaming in. But these Corruptors just do so much damage against these Colossus, and 1 Colossus is getting sniped. Is the second one going to get sniped? The second one going down. Second Colossus going down. Third Colossus is not even being able to do any really damage, and the third one does go down from these Corruptors. And Cruncher just trying to get away from all of these Zerglings, all of these Banelings, losing a ton of units from those Banelings, and those Corruptors just doing so much damage to those Stalkers, and the Corruptors going back home because they did their job. And Ret just dropping all of these Banelings all over his base. Cruncher's losing almost every single Stalker, able to save a few of those Blinks, but he is losing every single Stalker, and he is going to start whittling down these Overlords, trying to take them out as quickly as possible, so that he can possibly supply block Ret. But it is not going to happen. He is not going to be able to supply block Ret, because Ret, actually he did supply block Ret. I was looking at Crunchers. So he did supply block Ret, and Ret is at 155 out of 144. But he is morphing in 9 Broodlords. I don't know how Cruncher will be able to deal with this Broodlord count with the little amount of units that he does have, because he only has Stalkers against Zerglings and against Broodlords. And Zerglings, if they're able to get the surround on those Stalkers, they just do so much damage against Stalkers. They just take them down so quickly, and these Broodlords are able to just outrange all of these cannons and all of these buildings. And I don't know what Cruncher will be able to do against these Broodlords. These Broodlords are going to decimate these Stalkers. And once these Zerglings come into play and get the surround on these Stalkers, and they are going to get the surround on most of these Stalkers and taking all of these Stalkers down with the use of the Blue Broodlords, and Cruncher throwing in the GG. Oh man, those Ret using basically tier 1 units almost the whole entire game, just pure Lings, showing how effective even late game Lings can be as long as you're able to get the surround on most of your units. And then finally getting out some Corruptors to deal with those Colossi, which is the perfect switch to do, is to tech switch against Colossi, is to get Corruptors as a Zerg player. So great play from both players. Cruncher using great micro to get away from a lot of the Baneling drops, trying to take out his mineral line and everything like that, but just the macro and the play, and Ret just out macroed and outplayed Cruncher. So if you guys like, don't forget to comment, thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side.